Hey everybody, this is Hillary and Jim, our news guy.
Hey, how you doing?
And we are giant Transformers fans, huge Transformers fans. That's why we're proud to present and give a look at Transformers: The War for Cybertron, first big trailer that they've got. And as you can see, takes place on Cybertron. This is before the Autobots and Decepticons ever go to Earth, because they've been having this war on Cybertron for like millions of years.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Because first of all, they're robots. They don't necessarily.
Yeah, they don't need sleep either.
Yeah, they don't even sleep. They don't poop like you and I. So first thing you see, first Transformer they're going to show off. That's obviously Starscream there, classic white with the red. Starscream. We don't know if he's voiced by the guy who did Starscream because he doesn't speak during the trailer. Yeah.
It's also interesting to know that this is before they came to Earth. Yet he still has the sort of jet form. So because in the cartoon, you remember that they were just like flying triangles or whatever. So this is. It's interesting they have actual jet forms.
Yeah, but you'll see that his wings were on backwards because in space you fly. Aerodynamics are different in space. I mean, it's clear. Also, something to point out, so if you're wondering where this takes place, this probably takes place at Autobot City on Cybertron, because you can see the two big Autobot symbols outside those towers, and you'll actually see those symbols show up a few more times during the trailer. And there's also a lot of drones in this, but there are definitely some Autobots that you're going to recognize, right off the bat. They show off everybody's favorite Bumblebee. Who
actually looks cool in this game as opposed to the movies.
He does look cool, and you can see right behind him is Ratchet, and he looks like he's already healing some dude who's on the ground. He's got some kind of blue flashlight thing. That's how robots heal. Maybe that's Energon. Maybe he's like shooting an Energon cube into the dude. Sounds kind of dirty. So and true to form, a Bumblebee is completely ineffective against anybody. So he can't actually take anybody down because he's a little Bumblebee. But he's going to be saved by, this is Optimus Prime. He does not have his trailer. How do you feel about that, Jim?
It's as long as he's red and blue, that's my main concerns. But the trailer's okay. It's not a problem for me.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the design of Optimus here, but
I've seen worse. I've seen worse design.
Yeah, that's true. And you can pretty much see Bumblebee here and then Ratchet in the background. And our question is now, there are a lot of drone sort of characters that are clones that aren't real known
they're just
Transformers.
Fodder. They're just
fodder. But you kind of maybe think that might be Ironhide at the bottom of that. It's hard to tell, but it's possible. We can only hope.
Our tragic war has ravaged.
And another Transformer that I think that this guy on the right side in the blue, that to me looks like Trailbreaker. You're an expert, Jim. What would you say?
Yeah, I kind of agree. He's blue, and Trailbreaker was blue. Also interesting to point out the cover here in this scene. Lots of cover, which we expect the game to have lots of cover as well.
Exactly. Yeah, that seems like they're giving a hint to some of the gameplay mechanics, because this game has been compared to being like a Gears of War style game, which you wouldn't necessarily attribute to Transformers. There's no mistaking who that is.
So I'm so happy to see that, and it's Soundwave as he should be with his arm, his shoulder cannon rather, and his, I think his tape deck that probably is useless. I guess it's not really a tape deck in this, but whatever.
Yeah, who knows what's going to pop out of him? That sounded horrible too. And then Starscream lands next to, of course, that's Megatron. I doubt that he turns into a little pop gun or a Magnum. He probably turns into a vehicle of some kind. Because who wants to be able to transform into something somebody else has to hold? That seems kind of lame.
It's probably a tank in this game, maybe.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe. And he's clearly killing one of the drones.
Crushing his head, actually.
Yeah, because Megatron's not a nice dude.
He's a brutal guy.
Why is he so angry? And that is a good look at Optimus Prime, and he's got a battle axe.
Yes, he does.
Can you remember the first time you ever saw Optimus Prime with a battle axe?
I think this would be the first time, actually.
Really?
I know in the cartoons he had the
mace.
Yeah, the mace that comes out of his arm. But,
so in some of the remakes that they did for the toys, the Gen 1 toys, they actually gave Optimus Prime a battle axe. I have an Optimus Prime toy with a battle axe. So they brought that back. Don't know if the Matrix is living inside of him in this, but we can only hope. And he's definitely killing a bunch of little drones here. He cuts this dude in half, but he's a nobody. And Megatron, he's not a happy dude.
Yeah, look at this thing coming down from space here.
Now, I have a question for you, Jim. Now, something has crash landed. You wouldn't think it was going to be. Who is this, Jim?
This is Triptychon, who you may remember from show. He was a giant purple dinosaur that transformed into a city.
Now here's my question for you, Jim. They're on Cybertron already, so where does he come from?
He's coming. I don't know where he's coming from. He's coming from space.
I mean,
reminded me of Armageddon, the movie. We have the giant asteroids coming down, but I think thankfully it was just.
Maybe he'd be voiced by Ben Affleck.
No.
And so there's Megatron saying, hey, haha. And you can see what you can do, the Autobots can do better. This is Omega Supreme.
He just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You don't even like see him, and he just comes out of nowhere.
It's awesome to see him, this gigantic dude, but I have to say that as a toy, he was pretty lame because it was just a round track, and like he just sort of like rolled around a little round track.
He also walked too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, his batteries didn't last long. And then he just lays waste to a bunch of drones. He looks badass. Then my guess would be that Trypticon and Omega Supreme are going to be bosses in the game. I can't imagine that you would actually be able to control somebody that big. Plus, you know, to be able to transform into a mobile base doesn't seem very exciting either. And then, of course, it ends with Megatron and Optimus Prime meeting in the middle. And there we see a good look at Cybertron. Yes, the game actually takes place on Cybertron. Imagine that. So that's a quick look at Transformers War for Cybertron. Game is coming out later this year for a whole bunch of systems.
Get excited.